Hello everybody, it's Therese again. I'm back to cut my Aloha soap. This was a 4-colored soap that I did, ended up doing with a hanger swirl because it accelerated a little bit on me and it riced, which I think the ricing and the extra blending contributed to the acceleration. But I also think with this particular fragrance, I need to soap at room temperature, which I didn't do yesterday. So, it's my fault. I'm not going to say that this fragrance oil accelerates because I think it's my fault. But it did rise. It did rise. And I look back at the reviews of this fragrance oil, and another soaper also said that it had ricing. It's not a major rice. They're not like huge chunks or anything, but it's enough to be an annoyance, and it's enough to cause me to have to blend it extra. By blend it, I mean stick blend it. So, which accelerates trace. So, but anyway, I ended up doing a hanger swirl because it was too thick to pour as a tiger stripe, and the top I fumbled with it, so it's hideous. Even though my husband liked it and my brother liked it and some other people said that they liked it, I don't. I think it's awful. But as someone was kind enough to point out today on Soaping 101, soapers are our own worst critics. So anyway, it does smell fantastic, and it did gel, which, I mean, I figured it was going to gel, and all my corners actually came out of the mold, so that's one plus for gelling. But we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of cutting here. I'll cut the end piece off, just because I want to see what's going on. Now it really gelled. I don't expect that the hanger swirl is going to show up too well in the end pieces because it never does. My hanger isn't pointy enough. Can you see that? I don't know if it'll focus. Yeah. This camera sometimes aggravates me with its non-fociness. But either way, it turned out okay. That's not spectacular in any shape, form, and it is speckled, which all of my soaps get this speckled look. Let me cut the next piece and I'll see if I can point it out to you. But all my gelled soaps get this speckled look to them, but it cures out. I don't know how or why. Oh, there is a massive air pocket in this one. And look at that massive air pocket. Let's see if it'll focus. There you go. Can you see in this blue there? And you can see it down here. Excuse me, down here there's some speckliness. Looks freckled. See it? Excuse me. I got a tickle in the back of my throat. I wanted to show you that speckliness will go away. You can see here on this soap, this one was really speckled. And although it doesn't look like it's showing perfectly on camera, it's not speckled anymore. So, it kind of blended out, I guess you could say, during the cure time. I apologize for the coughing. I didn't bring a drink down with me because I wasn't planning on being down here. I actually came down to throw a load of laundry in the wash, which you could probably hear in the background because I didn't close the door. But while I checked, and I noticed that this soap had fully gelled, and which means that it's okay to cut it now because it's not going to get much harder than a gelled soap. Yeah, it seems my hanger didn't swirl the bottom. Most of the hanger is up there. And there's the top. If it will focus. Come on, focus. There we go. top doesn't look bad cut up into pieces. So there you go. Sometimes I point it out a lot myself, but sometimes it's important to remember when you're doing your tops. It's not the overall look that matters, because unless you sell your soap by the loaf, no one's ever actually going to see that. Your customers are not going to see that. This soap is so full of air pockets, and I bang the snot out of it, and I'm annoyed, but either way. But your customers are not going to see the entire loaf. They're going to see the top. I mean, they're going to see the individual tops. They're not going to see the whole loaf. So the individual tops, this was a particular part that I hated, and it looks fine. So these hose do not. The hanger swirl turned out really well here. It's less defined down here and none up here. So there you go. I guess I didn't bring it up and out, and I guess that's why. I should have brought it up and out each time instead of just to the top and over. But that's fine, you know. Sometimes I get a soap and I just hate it, and this isn't one of them. I'm not a fan of this soap. The colors are nice, but the design didn't work. So well, check out this one. These look like individual squares, or types of squares. It's very weird. Smells fantastic though. So I guess that's what matters, right? And somebody will like it. Speaking of soap and liking it, my husband came to me. I was in the kitchen this morning doing some dishes that were left over from last night, and he comes to me with this bar of soap in hand, and he says, "Honey, is this the same soap that how did he put it? Is this the same soap that you made for your brother?" Well, she named the brother. A few months ago. And I turned and looked at him and I said, "What do you mean, dear?" And he says, "Is this the same soap that you made for your brother?" And I said, "Well, yeah, that's one of them." And he says, "Well," he said, "I need to know if it's the same one because the bar I had is no longer usable." He said, "I've smushed it into pieces and pushed the chunks together and all these things, and I can't use it anymore. It's not big enough and I need a new bar." And I said, "Well, yeah, honey, that's probably the one that you've been using." And I said, "If not, bring me your pieces, or if you don't think it is, bring me your pieces and I'll make sure. And if not, I'll go get you one, or we'll work on making you a new one." I said, "But I'll have to order the fragrance if we're out because I don't have any." And he got this look on his face and goes, Well, yeah, we're going to have to order some more if we don't have any more because I like this one." I was like, okay. But luckily, it was the one, you know. I can't remember what I called it now. Supernova, I believe what it was. It was one of my soaps I did for Soaping 101 challenge. It was the Rainbow Squeeze. You can go back and see that. He loves that soap, and it leaves him smelling fantastic, which is funny because soap is a wash-off product. You know, you put it on, you wash it off, so it's not meant to leave your skin smelling. It's not a perfume, and a lot of people get confused by that, you know, because the commercial soaps tend to leave you smelling for longer periods of time. Well, those are chemical soaps. Those aren't all natural soaps. So that sort of explains it. But that particular fragrance and soap does leave him smelling really, really well. So what I'm saying is if you have a soap and you've bought a cold processed soap or a handmade soap, and you're confused as to why you don't smell for hours and hours and hours. It's not a perfume, it's a soap, so don't expect it to. And these, like I say, these soaps are not, they aren't that beautiful to me. I'm not overly pleased by this soap. It's not the ugliest soap on the planet, but it's not it's not my idea of a good soap, so, or a beautiful soap. It's not in my top 10, but it is soap nonetheless, and it, you know, it will clean. And who knows, it might be my husband's second favorite soap. I don't think so, because this one is it's a very clean, like, laundry detergent type, linen type scent. But it is, excuse my hand, I apologize. I wanted to slide the soaps over so that you can see them. And there we go. But I don't think that this is going to be one he particularly will like. My mother, on the other hand, I think she'll love it. I hope that I'll be able to make a soap next week, but again, busy, might not, but I'll do my best. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Happy soaping. Bye-bye.